How's it going, guys? This is Kaleido here. Today I wanted to show you how to go about creating this effect right here in Houdini and also rendering it in Cinema 4D and Octane Render. So let's get started. So first of all, go ahead and head on into Houdini here, and we can start off grabbing a geometry object of your preference here. I'm using this skull file that's actually fairly dense here, but that shouldn't matter too much here, and because we're going to convert it into a VDB, which we'll walk you through right about now. And if you have a question on how you can import it, all you need to do is just go into File, Import Geometry, and just select the object we're looking to apply this effect to. So, in order to get started, what we'll need to do here is we'll go ahead and grab that skull. You can just click and hold right there, press tab, and we'll go ahead and grab a sphere. Actually, I want to disconnect that. I won't be connecting it directly to the skull just yet. So what we'll need to do here is we'll go ahead and grab a scatter node. What that will allow us to do is it's going to go ahead and scatter some points onto this skull geometry. And as you can see right here, we have a bunch of points that is specified by this value right here. So I actually changed that slightly into 1083 because that's what I was experimenting with, and that seems to work out just fine for me. So I'll go ahead and use the same value. Then also what we want to do is we want to go ahead and uncheck relax iterations, in this case for this node. So the next step, what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and grab that node right there on the sphere, and we're going to go ahead and grab a transform. Since the sphere is actually fairly large in comparison to the skull, I want to actually make that size a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to 0.26. That value seems to work for me here when I was experimenting with it earlier. So we'll go ahead and use the same value. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and either tweak uniform scale, or we can go ahead and yeah, so as you can see, uniform scale affects it, or we can go ahead and just right click here, and then after you copy the parameter, we can go ahead and paste relative reference, and that's just gonna match this value with this one here. So also do the same thing here. Make sure you don't have any numbers before that, or else that will affect it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste relative reference one more time. And now if we go ahead and increase or decrease this value, all these two other ones are going to also change. So now that we have the skull and now we have the scatter, what we'll need to do is we're going to go ahead and grab both of these nodes, and we'll just drag and press tab, and what we'll need to do is copy 2 points. And so what this will do right here is that will go ahead and copy a sphere. It's going to duplicate a sphere and put it on each one of those points right here. So now you might think that it is a bit too large here and weird looking, but this will help us achieve our effect in the end, and we won't really tell what's going on here. So now from here, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and grab another scatter node. Okay, and what we'll do here is actually we don't need to do much, so we can just keep the default settings here. That did seem to work out for me fairly well, so I'm not going to change anything with that. And once we do that, now you'll see the points are slightly different from the previous ones. They're a bit more spread out, and that's what we're looking to do here. And what we want to go ahead and add next will be a connect adjacent pieces. So what this will allow us to do is actually we need to also change this to adjacent points. So we'll actually need to tone that up to about 0.18, not 0.018. So yeah, 0.18, that seems to work out just fine here. And in order to turn this into a geometry, what we'll need to do is we'll go ahead and connect a wire frame node here. And what that will allow us to do is it's going to go ahead and turn all those lines into polygons. But now they are a bit too big here. So what we want to do, we want to go ahead and tone that down to maybe around 0.019. And also we need to check off end caps. So now we can see this is fairly interesting looking, but we can go ahead and continue from there. So what we'll do from here is actually to make it more organic looking, we're going to go ahead and grab a convert VDB. We're going to go ahead and convert to VDB. So we can just type in VDB from polygons right there. And what that will do after it does cook here at the bottom, that's going to convert these polygons into voxels. So it's going to turn it into a volume pretty much. And what that will do is it's going to blur out some areas technically, and it's going to make it a bit more organic and a bit less uniform, as you can see right here. So this looks like it's almost ready. There we go. I'll go ahead and preview that. And now you can see there's not much detail going on at all. It just looks like a blob. So what we'll need to do to make it just a bit more detailed here is we can go ahead and tweak this value to around 0.015. That's about a good value for my experimenting. So once that cooks here, we'll be able to see quite a bit more detail in this object. So let's go ahead and let that finish cooking here. Looks like it's almost ready. All right, perfect. So now what we can see that we actually were able to bring back some of the details into this object here, which is exactly what we're looking for. And now you can see that this isn't so uniform looking. We have some areas that don't really have that much detail, and some areas that do, just like this area right here. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and convert this back into a polygon, or polygons in this case. And in order to do that, what we'll need to do is we can type in VDB convert VDB, and that will allow us to go ahead and change the volume back into polygons, and we can preview that. And now what you can see is this is almost the effect we're looking for right here. But what you can also see is it's a bit jagged around the edges here, a little bit pixelated in a way. So in order to fix that, all we have to do is we can go ahead and grab a smooth node, and what that will allow us to do is it's going to go ahead and smooth out some of those areas. And also, if you want, you can also turn that up a bit, and that will smooth it out a bit better for us. But actually, I'll keep it at around 10 in this case. And we can also solve these extra jagged edges here by grabbing a subdivide node. And when we apply that, that will go ahead and allow us to almost make those disappear here. We can still see some bumpiness, but for my effect, I did like that. It does make it look a bit more organic and less uniform, especially in like areas like this here, where you can see it fairly easily. But that's about it for this part of the tutorial. So the next one will be taking it into Cinema 4D and rendering it inside of Octane.